Hey all, happy Wednesday! Thanks for joining me for a craft night with friends. My name is Alyssa Thomas from Penguin and Fish, where we make cute embroidery kits for beginners. I'm here every weeknight, Monday through Friday at 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and it's a time that we can relax and craft together here. All right, we are well on our way with uh, the Hexies block. What is this? Lots of Hexies block. And we just have to stitch this little applique piece on, and we have 4 little extra dudes that we have to stitch on. So I think we're going to get pretty far. I think those extra hexagons, single hexagons, are going to be take a deceptive amount of time. I think they're going to take longer than I think. So I don't think we'll finish tonight, but we should pretty easily finish tomorrow. So we might even have time to do something else tomorrow. That'd be kind of fun. All right, let's get going on this tonight, though. All right, let's scoochy on in here. And, all right. Let's take a look at this again. So last night we put this whole guy here on, and then we stitched this guy around here. So we got the rest of that path, and then these guys go, they hide in the edge here in the little fold that we got going on. So we'll have to decide on just the right spot for those. And then I'll probably press them all at the same time. I might actually glue them all on at the same time too. If one falls off, then whatever, we'll just glue it back on. But then we can just kind of get them all just in the right spot. I think that's actually really pretty, just kind of like that. All right, let's give it a go. So we are basically doing needle turn applique at this point on here, but started with English paper pieced fellers. So we're just getting in relax mode and gonna stitch this for the evening. I'll be here for the hour. Hey, Catherine. John and I just went on walk number 2 for the day. It was actually just so beautiful today. Still chilly, still wearing my winter coat, winter hat, but man, the sun was out today. It was still, I think it was the first time that it's been sunny without the wind. So very pleasant, but still got that winter coat. Not happy about that. But I'm ready for a day like today where it's actually, I can walk out with what I'm wearing. And I'm still wearing my heaviest sweater. I got this sweater in 2 colors earlier in the year, and it's all I've worn all winter, or earlier in the season. But man, I'm ready to not have to wear it anymore, that's for sure. My warmest 2 sweaters, plus that sweater of my mom's that I cut in half. I've been wearing that pretty consistently too. But luckily I haven't worn that in a few days, so. But man, during the winter I've been wearing this mega sweater that I'm wearing now, plus my mom's wool sweater. I'm over it. Get me out of it. Hey, Kathy. I think I'm gonna, I don't know, what's more comfortable here? I think just like this. Hey, Patty. Hey, Jennifer. Libby, nice to see all of you. But yeah. Very nice evening. We went for a morning and evening walk. We skipped our afternoon walk. We usually walk in the afternoon, but we walked in the morning and the evening today. It was nice. Uh-oh. Whoops, I accidentally pulled this off the needle. So let's get that back. All right, I'm going to do my little pinch method of threading my needle. So I got the thread really close to my fingers here so I can actually pinch over the whole thing. And as I unpinch, right the moment I see that, I'm going to lay my eye of the needle over over the thread, and it goes right through. So this is, I can't subtract, but after this I have 27 more blocks for this quilt. So this has 100 blocks total, and every single block is completely different. And we're working our way through it. We're going to turn this into a quilt. We've been calling it the blonde quilt since we got all these pale yellow and tan colors on the white. And after I finish this one, I still have 27 more to go out of the 100. And this one in particular is pretty heavy on the hand work, but a lot of the other ones are sewn. And anywho, that is the project. It is the Splendid Sampler 2 quilt along here that we're working our way through. Joe's asking, how far do we walk? Not very far, just around our neighborhood. Maybe, a longer walk would just be like a mile. So we went pretty late, this evening. My buzzer on I have 3 buzzers on my watch that go off before my live here. One's my hey, it's 8:05. You better start thinking about your live. And the next one's at 8:15, and that's okay, you better start setting up. And then at 8:25, and that's the you better have it all set up by then alarm. But we walked till my right before my buzzer number 1 went off. So and we just went out a little bit before that, so it was only a 10-minute walk. But we do have a path that's about a mile, so it's hardly anything, but it's just a nice, chill, casual walk. Man, it looks like my pieces are coming apart a little bit here. I'm going to go in the corner of this one, too. Normally I would just pick one of those corners, but I don't know, my knicker knots aren't as good, I don't think. Ooh, Susan says, my friends and I did page 110 in the Splendid Sampler 2 today. We meet on Wednesdays. Ooh, Wednesdays and get a block done? You get a whole block done in one day? Here, I gotta go look at what page 110 is. Did we do 110 yet? Stars Above. Is this the one that you did? This does not look familiar to me. I do not think I did this one yet. Stars Above. And just because it starts with an S, I'm pretty sure I haven't done it yet, because I think these are in alphabetical. Yep, Stars Above. That's a no. You did one that I haven't done here yet, Susan. It looks, it's pretty, though. Is it pieced and then paper pieced? I guess I didn't look very closely, but it looked like there was a lot going on with it. I have not done that one yet, though. And man, there's a lot on that list yet, I think. We're getting there, though. But I'm definitely ready to scooch beyond this project and start another one. Oh my god, you guys, and I had another idea today for a project, so this one's going to bubble up to the top soon, I know for sure. I'd love to do knit a sweater. I've never knit a sweater before, and I would love to just knit a sweater, but I want to knit a whole character on the front. I was thinking it would be fun to stitch my Tyrannosaurus embroidery pattern on the front, but as a really big character. So the head of the dinosaur takes up the whole front of the sweater, and it's filled in and stuff too. You know, a whole knit character on it. But that design, the little Tyrannosaurus, I think that would be so fun. So, and a lot of times I've been playing around with a cross stitch pattern or a cross stitch program, and a lot of those cross stitch programs, you can turn to knitting guides too. So now I totally want to do that. Donna's asking, why are you sewing those hexagons on cloth? So I know it's a little silly, because a lot of times with a hexagon quilt, you'd be sewing just the hexagons together. So I would just like continue to sew hexagons together like this. This is kind of like a combo block. It's part of the Splendid Sampler 2 here. This is a book we're going through every block, and it's just one of the blocks. So it's a combo of English paper piecing that's been appliqued onto a back piece. So that's the only reason why. I know it's a little different, right? Because it's not, we spent all this time English paper piecing and we're not even like finishing it as an English paper piece. But that's why. I am going to be making a whole quilt out of all of these blocks. There's 100 blocks total in this project. And this is my 28th left. So what is that? My 72nd one or something. Oops, I got a little knot here. So it's just another one from the project. I'm just trying to work my way through. Oh, happy birthday, Donna. How fun. But yeah, I started this project several years ago, and we've been kind of diligently working on it. Last year we were working on it every week, or every month for a whole week. But now I've just been kind of doing it a couple days every month, so we'll eventually get it done. I might do some Saturday, like, marathon stitch-a-thons for it. Not stitch-a-thon, but marathon stitch-alongs, just to try and get a little farther. But it's just one of those unfinished projects that I'm trying to not give up on. I mean, I still love the quilt. I love the process of it. But man, quilts are marathons, that's for sure. Oh, happy birthday, Donna, 65 today. You like hand sewing? Yeah, me too. I mean, this is so relaxing. It always surprises me a little bit, this hand sewing, because it always ends up being just mega relaxing, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, I like doing this. It's always a little bit of a surprise. Oh, Joe says my Splendid Sampler 1 quilt is my favorite quilt you've ever made. Ugh, that's amazing. Yeah, I love my Splendid Sampler 1 quilt. So this is actually the sequel book. Hey, Absolute Goblin. This is the sequel, so this is the Splendid Sampler. Just, I know you know that, but like I'm just saying for people that don't know. This is the sequel for the Splendid Sampler, the original Splendid Sampler book, which we also made. So theoretically, this is like the 200th, going through the 200th block instead of just 100. Because that last book was 100 different blocks as well. I can't believe we decided to do this second one, honestly. But I do still really, I'm happy I'm doing it. It doesn't sound like it right now. It's just, like I said, it's a marathon, and I do, love it yet. Ugh, it's coming along. But man, you know what it is? I'm almost at that 80%, and that 80% done. So all these ones are the ones that I don't have done yet, the ones that are not crossed off. We've done all of these other blocks for this project. But I can feel it. Like, whenever I get 80% done with a project, I'm almost there. Whenever I get 80% done, even if it's like an email, when I get done with 80% of that email, I just, don't want to do it anymore, and I start, freaking out. I'm like, this last 20% is going to take forever. It's horrible. So I'm feeling like I'm getting to that point. And I'm recognizing that it's just, me being dumb. I know I'm like, I must be about 80% done, because I'm starting to get anxious about it. And I think that's kind of where I'm getting at with this. All right, well, these are all sewn on, so now I just have the last 4 little dudes here. We haven't taken the papers, the templates out of them yet, so I think I'll do that first. We'll press them, because it's silly for me to kind of line them up all exactly where I want them to be if I have to pick them up again. So let's take the papers, let's press these, take the papers out of them, I'll press them again, and then we'll place them, and then I'll glue them down. And then we'll try stitching them one by one. I don't know if we'll finish, because, we got 6 sides on each of these to do. So that'll take some time. Oh, John's asking. John's in the chat today, on YouTube. He's asking how many blocks are done by the page you get to 110. Oh, I'm wondering. Who said that they were working on that? Oh, Susan. Susan, are you going in order? Or are you just are you jumping around? I've been kind of jumping around. I don't know how many blocks are there by the time you get to page 110. All right, so these are my little paper template pieces. I've put a hole in them, like I've punched a hole in them because that makes them easy to pop out. These are a little more difficult to pop out because I did glue base them directly to the template. So I got to kind of scratch them out of here first and then try and pop that paper out. But like if I thread basted these, which is a common way to baste these as well, this would just pop right out real easy. But yeah, so I punched that hole in there, so at this point I can kind of get in there and pop it out. Although I don't really have anything else to grab on because these are just single. It's pretty unusual. This is actually really unusual with English paper piecing to take the template piece out when it's only a hexagon. Because usually with paper piecing, you put a bunch of hexagons around your hexagon, and only when it's completely surrounded do you take the paper out. But this is where we're veering from normal English paper piecing because we're basically appliquing hexagons. Like I shouldn't even think about this as English paper piecing. At this point we're just, oh, I lost that one that I already took out. Well, we'll do this one. We're basically just appliquing hexagons and using this template to make hexagons. So this is going to be hard to pop out because I don't have anything else to grab on. Usually I can grab on the other pieces, but yeah, this isn't going to work. I think I'm going to have to dig in here with my finger. Ooh, this is so odd. Yeah, this is so unusual to take out a template piece without any other hexagons around it. Wow, yeah, this is just so awkward because usually you have all the other pieces to hang on to. Oh, this is so funny. I would have never thought of that as being a weird thing to do. There we go. Just kind of reshaping it. We'll press it and then it'll be just right. But yeah, this is super weird. You would definitely never do this in English paper piecing. You always sew your pieces to other pieces before taking out the papers, or you take out the papers when you're completely done with the whole project. Yeah, it's kind of giving me anxiety actually, taking the papers out at this point. It's an odd feeling. Not something you typically do. Oh, Gretchen, I am 100% with you on that. Gretchen's saying, I'm so happy we did this, like these Splendid Sampler projects. I've learned so many fun techniques. I feel exactly the same way, especially on the first Splendid Sampler project, quilt project that we did. That I felt was like a whole learning arena for me. Just all sorts of different techniques, and then like improving on those techniques. And I feel like with this quilt, we gotta like put those techniques into practice. So the first one I think was a lot of learning, and this one is a lot of practicing what we learned. Jenny is asking, would it be better to have a physical book, or will the digital version work as well? Digital version I think would be perfectly fine with this book. The big thing with that though is you're gonna, like, if you have a printer, it's gonna be okay, because there's two big template fold out sheets in the back. Like these are big. They fold out like to be like the size of my table. There's two of them. And it does have all your applique pieces in here. I'm sure they've redone it for digital, I would like to think, so it fits on pages nicely. So it doesn't like chop this in half, for example. So that would be the only like hesitation I'd have with the digital, is that there are all these. But I I've made a photocopy of these, each one of these when I use them. So I mean, I might as well have just bought the digital version, since I'm making photocopies of these anyway. So I mean, you know, as long as you have a printer, I think it'd be pretty easy. But without a printer, I think it'd get a little annoying if you didn't pre-plan. Hey, Veronica. Veronica's asking, hi, was it hard to change the color on your nails? Yeah, well, it's hard to answer, so kind of. It wasn't hard, like, the process was the same, but dang, did it take forever for me to get them off. Like, you know, I had done the day that I did my nails. This is only the second time I've done my nails. This is with the dip powder. So I've only ever taken them off the one time. And that was, I did like a 5-hour live. And then I kid you not, it probably took me at least that long to take off my previous nails, you know, file these down, shape them, and then put the new ones on. I swear it took just about the same amount of time, which was ridiculous. So, and I don't know what it was. Maybe I just got watching my show that I was watching. I don't know, but like, I could not believe that it took me that long to get it done. It can't possibly take that long again. It can't possibly. I do have some ideas on how to make it faster for next time, but whoa, that was a lot. All right, I just want to check. I kind of like the pointy bits of this hexagon on the line versus, you know, if we went that way. But I'm kind of curious. Like, I like it kind of like that. I'm curious how they actually did it in the book. Maybe we'll just do what they have. It's on page 84 here. But yeah, so it took forever. Okay, yeah, so they're going with the pointy bit on the line. Okay, good. I like it like that. So we're just going to kind of place these where they look decent, I suppose. This one's pretty wonky looking, but oh well. But yeah, I did, though, that the hot water method was recommended. So I did that first. But I only did one hand, and it was really difficult for me to like rub on, you know, my pinky and like some fingers and stuff. So that took a long time, and I'm like, well, that took way longer than what it shoulda. Let's try the other method where I just like put like those little clips, put some acetone on a pad, and then put those clips on and just put them there. Now that took way longer, and I had to actually scrape some of it off and all that. So the hot water thing was definitely the win, and I think I have a way to make that go easier next time. I'm just gonna do both hands at once in the hot water, and then I can like have like both hands to be able to like agitate things. So I'm hoping, you know, I'll be stuck in there during that time, but I'm hoping that goes way faster. And I don't have nearly as much on. Like, I had it pretty gobbed on thick for the first time I ever did it, the nails, and I have one less layer on this time too. So I'm thinking this next time will probably be pretty good. I'm just trying to like eyeball this to see how it looks. I mean, does this look... Oh, I suppose I could go sideways. Does that... Oh, it looks like maybe I gotta scooch it down. I'm just trying to look at it at all angles to see if this is kind of laid out decent. Does this feel like it has to go this way more? I think kind of. Gina says, can you tell if it's going to cause damage to your nails? So I didn't feel with this first time through that my nails seemed damaged at all. And frankly, without these nails, they would have broken up 3 or 4 times in that amount of time. So, like, it didn't seem like it was, like, eating through my nails. I mean, but, you know, who knows? Maybe after a few more times it will. My strategy is if it starts to feel like that, I'll take a few weeks off and just do my normal, like, lacquer and see how that goes. But I was surprised. I didn't feel like it did any damage. But again, I'm, you know, don't know if I can really compare to anything yet. All right, I'm gluing all these down just because I think it's easier to do them all at once just to get in the right spot. And I think they'll stay on. I think we're going to get through these pretty quick. So I'm just kind of putting it on two sides. I think that'll be fine. And I'm just getting it in the seam allowance here. Oh, could you measure down the center? Oh, that's not a bad idea. Well, I already have two glued on. Let's see how we did. I'm going to grab a ruler. That's a great idea. Let's just peek quick. Oh, those good ideas. It's nighttime. That's when the good ideas go away. All right. Ooh, that's just at 1.5, like just shy of 1.5. So they probably should be at 1.5. All right, that's just shy of 1.5 as well. So, ooh, the two I have down are pretty dang good. Oh, see, now this is further than 1.5, so this one should scooch up just a bit, because I was just like a little shy of 1.5. How shy of 1.5? Let's look. Oh, like in the middle of that, so like a 16th or something. Yep, I think that's good. All right, I'm gonna glue that. Save the day, Linda. Okay. Boop. All right, and last one. Let's just close this up while I'm doing that. Oh, here. Oh, and I think that one can even scooch just like 32nd of an inch back. Maybe too much. Wait a sec. Nope, I think that's good. I must have used a different part of this ruler because it's looking goofy to me. Yeah, all right. Good. I like it. So let's glue this guy on and then we can get stitching. Ooh, gosh, that's a big glob of glue. Try to lift. Oh, geez, I'm just putting more on. I'm like, I'm going to try and lift some of that off. I'm going to just scrape it off with my nail. Maybe I can use it on this side. There. All right. I'm just thinking about that question. Would it be better to have a physical or digital version of the book? For the actual instructions, I don't think there's any reason that you'd need the physical version. It's just for the patterns. And sometimes within the pattern, not even on the back, there's like this hexagon I had to trace from the part of the instructions area, not from the back of the book. So as long as they've done that right and you have like a printer, then you'll be fine. All right, I'm just threading a little bit here. I just need enough to go around a hexagon, so I'm not going to get too big of a piece here. Let's do a little quilter's knot here. Zoop. Sound effects for everything tonight. Oh, Noeline says, I love this block. I have the finished one. Nice. We're getting there. So I'm a little nervous that I glued these down beforehand. I didn't do that with the other, these like caterpillar looking ones. So hopefully they don't fall off. And if they do, whatever. But now we know like that little measurement. So that was smart. I like that we know that it's just shy of 1.5 inches now if they fall off. So I'd like to get get a couple sewn on today. I don't think get around the whole thing. Have to do each of them in like 6 minutes. I don't think I can get around one of these in 6 minutes, but hey, I don't know, maybe. We'll see. That means each side's got to take me a minute. But that didn't take me a minute, did it? I don't know. Maybe there's still hope to get this all done today. Or close enough that we're like, let's just stay the 6 extra minutes. Ah, shoot. Well, it's not going to get done that way if I keep pulling the thread out of the needle. There we are. Kind of want to do another punch needle. I've been thinking about that too. But yeah, I do like the idea. Oh, someone was talking about I missed the talking about the sweater, but I do. For some reason, I've never knit a sweater before, and if it's just, I'd have to find a good pattern, like a simple but like kind of oversized looking pattern where it's just, you stitch or like basically a rectangle for the front and the back, and then some sleeves, like something like that. Just the simplest that it can be, and do a whole gauge. I think that's why I've never knit a sweater, is the whole, or clothing really, is the whole getting that gauge just right, So that'd be a whole process I'd have to go through. Do the gauge, and like I'd maybe do my gauge first and then design it to that gauge. I don't know. Sounds like a whole process, but I think it'd be really fun. I follow some people on TikTok who knit sweaters and stuff. I'm like, oh, that just looks relaxing. Relaxing. It'd be fun to do. Hey, 9:03, and I'm more than halfway around. Maybe I can do each of these in 6 minutes. we might just on the hour get this block done. That means we have a free day tomorrow. What could we do for a free day? All right. Oh, I got one more side in there. That's what I thought. And then next week, we will be starting up the ABC quilt again. So where are we? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So on Monday we'll be starting the Giraffe. So Giraffe and Hedgehog for next week. Ooh, those are some classics. I like those too. They'll be quick and easy and fun. The Giraffe has all sorts of little satin stitch dots all over it that are going to be kind of fun. All right, one done. Let's tie it off on the back. I think my glue will hold for the other ones. I think I'm going to actually miss this hand stitching a little bit, but in the context of getting the Splendid Sampler done, I'm very happy that we're going to be done with this block. But in just the relaxation of doing hand stitching, I'm going to miss it. All right, more thread, please. Let's just trim a piece, then I'll thread it. Definitely getting a bit loopier. I'm towards the end of my spool of thread there. Oh, Veronica says I don't sew, but just watching you do it is relaxing to me. Oh, That's awesome. You know, it's so funny. I was having this conversation with Jenna the other day, like, what is it? Because I'm the same way on TikTok. Like, I will just watch some random stuff, and it's just so chill. Like, I was telling her, you know, I've just been watching people do nails. And literally, one that I was watching the other day, and I wasn't even watching because I'm working at the same time, and I just have it on in the background. But this particular one, there wasn't even anything on in the background. I could hear Gossip Girl on a TV in the background is all it was. And for some reason, it was totally kept my interest and kept me able to work. And you know, I want, you know, it's popular now, all these like tumblers with epoxy on that people are making on TikTok. And I've just been, like, my feed, I watched one of those for like a couple hours one night, just literally to have on in the background while I was working. And now that's like all it feeds me now is 12 different people making epoxy tumblers. But it's relaxing. Oh, Linda says, too bad it isn't George and Martha. I should get... Do I have that down here yet? No, I put it away, but we could have a story time sometime. I could just read through all the George and Marthas. Some Saturday marathon, we'll just read George and Martha for the entire day. I wonder how long that would take. Because we have that complete works of George and Martha, and... yeah, it's a fat book. It'd take more than an hour, I think. That was fun reading those the other day, though. Oh, Amy's asking, I wasn't here earlier. Did you decide what to bring to the waiting room? I haven't yet. I do like the idea of getting going on that embroidery, the ABC embroideries again, because I wanted to make it into like that book too, like an alphabet book. But then at the same time, I'm like, that just feels, oops, I pulled the needle out again here. God dang it. That just feels like a whole process. Actually, it all kind of feels like that. I don't know. I'm just thinking, okay, it's going to be early. I'm not even going to have any coffee yet. Am I going to just end up, like, looking at my phone the whole time? But, you know, I don't have guaranteed internet, and I got to bring an emergency craft project. I do have, like, my old emergency craft project that, you know what, maybe that's what I'm going to do. I'll have to show you guys tomorrow. I have in my bag, and I used to have the warehouse that I drive to every day, but now we don't have the warehouse anymore. So I'm not driving every day, so I'm not using like my bag to put my computer in and all that. But that bag has a emergency craft project in that's been around for years, and I probably haven't worked on it for years. It's another one of those doilies with the pattern that my grandma used all the time. Ooh, actually, I think this is a different pattern. I was branching out. I'm trying a different pattern. And with the teeniest sewing thread. I'll have to get it out tomorrow. I don't even know if I can read the pattern anymore. Because first of all, it was so dull to begin with on the printer. Oh, hey. Oh, no, I'm not around. That's just where I glued. I'm like, am I around this one already? But no, that's just where I glued it down. But yeah, it's really difficult to read, and it's not a written out pattern. It's a pattern where they just show the pictures of what's going on. Like the picture of a stitch, like a, what is it called? Like a diagram. It's the stitch diagram for crochet, which I think was kind of fun, because I hadn't ever stitched from a diagram before. Maybe I'll work on that. Then it's in my bag, and I could bring actual work to do, though, too. I could bring my computer. I've been outlining embroideries, you guys, outlining sketches for some new embroideries that are coming up. So I always kind of sketch it out. It starts out as like maybe a sketch this big on a notepad, like just to like, it's not even a sketch, it's just like getting the idea out of my brain enough for me to know what that sketch is supposed to imply. And then lately I've been sketching it right on the iPad right away, just because just the work process. It feels like paper still, and I can doodle like paper and then improve it easier and easier because it's digital. And then I bring it to the computer after the iPad, and that's where I make the lines like super duper nice and smooth, and so I'm basically redrawing it again. And sometimes I'm making drawing decisions at that stage too. But anyway, I have a bunch at the sketched out on the iPad stage, bringing to the computer stage. So I could just get a little further on that maybe. I know that's no fun. As far as like versus working on an emergency craft project, but I don't know. I'm kind of feeling that the more I talk about it, I'm kind of feeling that old crochet doily emergency craft project would be, another project that we could get done at some point. But I'll bring that out tomorrow. We can take a look at it. Haven't shown any crochet stuff in a long time. Here we go. Let's do this one because this one seems like it's gonna fly off here. 2 done. I think we can get 2 more. Let's see. Yeah, I'm ahead of the schedule as far as me timing it out of like, ooh, can we get 4 done? Because I think I started the first one right at 9. And that's why I'm like, oh, we'd only have like 7 minutes or so for each. But I'm ahead by 3 minutes right now. So I think we might actually get this done. All right. Zoop. I don't think I got quite as long of a piece this time. All right. We'll start at this little corner here. Oops, missed it. There we go. Oh, Kathy, that new sewing machine that you got is so freaking beautiful. Kathy just got a new old, like a vintage sewing machine that's pink. It looks like a 50s roadster car, and it says Moose on it. So okay, any vintage sewing machine buffs, have you heard that brand before? Like, it's so freaking pretty. Jenna and I were talking about it this morning or yesterday morning or something, and I was saying, like, I saw one on Facebook Marketplace in our area once that was teal, like a seafoam green teal, that looked like it could maybe be from the same time period, and like, I'm like, oh man, if I had both those machines, they would be pals. They would be besties. The pink and the seafoam. Not even pink. We were saying that it was such a pretty pink. It's like I was saying like a raspberry sorbet colored sewing machine. Oh, it's Morse, not Moose. Oh, funny. Amy says it's Morse. Okay, so I haven't heard of that either. That brand. So back in the day, a lot of those brands were like white labeled versions of other brands that were like prominent brands. Like with Kenmore, like Sears wanted their own one, and it was actually like a white sewing machine or something. I don't remember. So other places were branding them as theirs. So pretty though. I just want a room someday that's just like all the vintage sewing machines lined up on their cabinets, like with projects in progress. They're all plugged in. They're all just ready to like sit down at whichever station you want and work on that project on whatever beautiful machine is sitting there. I just love that idea. all the little babies out. All right, 3 more sides on this one, I think. We're going to finish early even, I think. That's exciting. This took a day faster than I was expecting, which is what, like an hour faster. That's pretty good. Oh, just like Elna's Janome. Yep, yeah, exactly. They're all like 3 different brands or something ultimately, and then everything's like a white labeled version of one of those. I don't know if it's 3 brands, but it's something. It's a lot less brands of what it is than actually looks like out there. Yeah, I'm super productive today, Teresa, for sure. All right, I'm a little, I'm bunching this up here. I'm a little worried I'm going to unglue that last one, but I don't know, this is a little bit more comfortable for this angle here. Oh, Linda's asking, I wonder what block is next. Me neither. I have no idea. We'll have to check after this. I have been just kind of going down the list, which is fine. I'm like, let's just check these off as they come versus actually making decisions anymore. Let's just check them off. And yeah, so we'll see. Uh-oh, I almost pulled the thread out again. I still, like, a lot of my machines still need to be fixed in some way or the other. Again, that should just be a whole, like, 1 week, that should just be my agenda, is, like, finding a new sewing machine place nearby, or my mom said that she had one near her that she wanted to try, so I could drop it off there and just leave it by her. I don't know. To the back. I love that we fussy cut these with the little stars in there. I think that's so cute. I don't do that often, but that fabric worked out just right for us. There's got to be a quilt police way of doing these knots. I feel like I'm just kind of going up wherever, grabbing some fabric and doing it. I'm not sure that's the absolute perfect way to do it. One more, we're totally finishing. I'm not going to trim it down yet. Ultimately, this is going to get trimmed down to a 6.5-inch square, which is what this size is. So yeah, we did pretty well, like a 1/4 inch off of each side. I'm not going to do that until we're actually just about to sew it into the quilt, I don't think. All right, last little piece of thread. I feel like I need to save this thread for this project in case we need to do like this hand stitching with other ones, because it's just the right color. Which block is this? It is Lots O Hexies. It's on page 84. Carol. Oop, flip that around. My bent little needle that I love so much. All right, my little quilter's knot on the end there. Last one. Yeah, we'll definitely take a look at what block is next. So we'll be starting that theoretically next month. The last week of May is when we'll work on the Splendid Sampler 2 again. And we'll either start whatever the next block is that we'll check out tonight, or we'll do some quilting. I mean, that'd be kind of fun too. Ooh, actually, I think I already have a plan for, I have a plan for the last week of the month for May. And it's not the Splendid Sampler. So I do have a little bit of a plan, but I can't tell you about it until May. But we'll be working on something else just for a couple days for funsies. But yeah. Oops, shoot, come back here. Oh yeah, this is my seam ripper holder. I forgot, yeah, this is what I was putting my seam ripper in when we were cutting all that chain piecing. That's right, I should save that when it's completely out. But that is what we're using for that. I'll have to draw out that little sweater idea. Like, I'm seriously stuck on this sweater now. I have other projects to finish, and I don't know how to knit a sweater, and I'd have to do a ton of research for it, but I still like the idea of it. And I have another knitting project going on it too. I have that snake that I'm knitting, but I'm trying to crochet this blanket first. Ugh, it's just, I should maybe finish some stuff before starting another thing, but I can draw it out and play around with it. I keep starting projects. I haven't started a quilt though lately, except for, our scheduled ones. So I'm not, that's still a marathon project for me more than the other things for some reason. Any suggestions for, JW's asking, any suggestions for backstitching seams on a sewing machines that don't backstitch? So someone, I don't do this a lot, and I haven't really tried it. Like, I don't have a good picture of me trying it, but someone has mentioned before that doing that little backstitch, instead of doing that, you could put your stitch length to 0 and stitch in the same spot a bunch of times. Someone said that that's the same thing. So you could try that. I'm sure I've tried that before, because someone's mentioned it. It just seems like something so easy to try, but I can't recall like if I liked it or not. But that's a thing, is that you could just stitch in the same spot. So yeah, just putting your stitch length to 0. Or I feel like I've read this somewhere too. Maybe not even to 0, but to the ittiest bittiest size. So even if it goes ahead like a millimeter or something with a bunch of little tiny stitches. So at 0 or just about 0, theoretically, because I can't remember, but theoretically should have a similar effect. Well, that's a bummer, right? I think I had to do back stitches like that one time before. I think this is why it came up. Someone was like, oh, you can just do small stitches. Because I was on John's great-grandmother's old Singer from when was that one from? 1929? And that only goes forward in a straight stitch. And I think I was doing like paper piecing or something. So I think I was turning around my whole piece to do a couple stitches the other way and then turning it back to do that. So that's not very convenient. So I think that in that case, the stitching in one spot, I think that was actually pretty hard to change the stitch length on that machine though too. I don't know. I'll have to get that one out again sometime. That one is screwed into a cabinet So it's flipped upside down right now, which is just so bizarre. Those cabinets that hold sewing machines are just an engineering marvel to me still. I think it's funny. Like, how can they hold those heavy machines on those two little, like, special screws? All right, that was my last stitch, you guys. We're done 5 minutes early. Take that, Hexies. All right, so I'm going to just tie this up. I don't even think I'm going to iron it or anything yet. We'll deal with that, like, once we actually are sewing it into the quilt. But yeah, this is definitely, I'm even put the needle back into Zeb here. There we are. He's happy. There we go. Ugh, they always turn out so freaking pretty. Even the ones that I'm just like hesitant to start and whatever, they always turn out super fun. All those little baby stitches and those cute little Hexies. Yay! All right, you guys, that is page 84. Ooh, let's cross it out. Do I have my, oh, I don't have my highlighter. I've been kind of crossing them out with a highlighter, but I'm going to cross it off with a pen for now. Lots of Hexies. You are done. Okay, next I have on here is Lotus on Pond, page 100, and I think I have a picture in my head of what that one is. I think that's applique as well. So a few applique ones. So 100. Yes, okay. So here we go. Here is Lotus on the Pond. This one actually looks like it's going to take us like no time at all, I think. So we really are only sewing 2 pieces together. Oh, so I will still need the sewing machine. Oh, but I think I'm gonna do this with the sewing machine as well, the applique. So we'll do iron on, or the that fusible web, the raw edge applique. That's what it's called. So raw edge applique. And I'm just doing that because it goes way faster than the hand stitching. And I'm in the market to get these blocks done right now. So we'll fusible applique on, well, we have to make this back piece, and then fusible applique, and then I'm going to just stitch around that. I think we can get this done in 2 days. I think we can probably get it almost done in 1 day even. It's just like prepping all the pieces takes some time. So I'm going to call this a 2-day project. So maybe next month there still will be time for that. I'm curious what the one after that is. Making templates. Ooh, I don't have a clear picture of that one. So page 87. Oh, we didn't do this one yet? This one looks so familiar. Making templates. Huh. I totally feel like we've done this one, but I don't have it marked off. So I'm using this as my guide, I guess. Man, that feels awfully familiar though. Did we do another one that is similar to this? I don't know. I'll have to do a quick glance at my quilt. I'll have to lay out the quilt, maybe, and see where we're at again. I'll have to take a little video of that where we're at, and I feel like I need to double check that we didn't already do that block. So I don't know. It feels a little unfamiliar, but it also feels like, didn't we like sew a bunch of those again? I suppose we could look. Yeah, we got a few more minutes. Let's just take a peek. I do have it all right here still. I have a few more pieces. Let's open this up. So we can take a look at all these blocks again quick. Oh gosh, we have a ton done here. I'm going to raise you up a little bit. On TikTok too, I'll raise you up a little bit. So give me a wee bit of a sec here. And we'll get up higher. Okay, so let's take a look at all of these. Let me throw this garbage away here. Oops. break anything or have anything go on the floor here. Okay, so here are all of our blocks. Scoot you guys up a bit. And a lot of these are like quilted and in the quilt already, so I'm going to just unfold them and fold them right back up, I think. There we are. A lot of these are so cute. Maybe this is the one that I'm thinking of. Nah, that can't be it. Oh my gosh, it's been forever since I've looked at some of these. Remember the pineapple? That was one of our first ones, I think. All of these are very early. That little sunshine is so cute still. How big will this be finished? It'll be 60 inches by 60 inches. Oh, plus my little bits here. So I don't know, how many are these? Like 5 divided in half, so like 2.5 more inches. So about 62 inches by 62 inches. Let's say it like that. Because each of these blocks are going to be 6 inches each, and then we have the little sashing in between. I like this one. We did like that big feather through it, and the backs I think are just so cool too. Ooh, this is the first thing. This block here was the first thing I think I've hand quilted. So this is the entry into the hand quilting land. Was this block? I think that's the block I was bleeding on. That was my, oh yeah, there it is, gross. I don't know, don't they say something about you gotta bleed into your quilt somehow? Alright, I'm still not seeing that block, so maybe we didn't ever get that done. I'm gonna set this one aside. I want to get these groups together. This is a little later. Oh gosh, remember that one? So I'm not seeing that block yet, which makes me think we didn't actually do it. But man, it feels familiar. I wonder if there was one similar in the first Splendid Sampler. Oh, look at that one's fun. That one's pretty too. Ooh, I love the quilting we did on this one. We did like loop-de-loops here. Ooh, that is pretty. Look at that. This is a little wonky there, but like the rest of it, I'm really, really liking. Ooh, we should do something like that again. These fun little teardroppy ones. Oh gosh, and then we did all that embroidery. All right, and then we're to the ones that we don't have quilted into it yet. So this clamshell one. And then these ones we don't have quilted at all yet. So we got some quilting to do. These ones are all pinned together and ready to go even. And here's that other one. I think it goes like this. So that is our whole quilt, and now we can add this guy to it. So I don't have any spare ones around. So that last time when we had 8, we must have just made these, and then this is my first one post that. So I need 3 more before I can turn this into something. Oh, JW says I really like the octopus one. Oh, is it meant to be hung up or used as a blanket? Guess I haven't really thought about that. I mean, the intended use is ultimately a blanket, to use as a quilt. But theoretically, it could be hung up. I'll probably just use it as a quilt. We have so many quilts all over the house. I really like this guy too. But I break them out for different things. My first Splendid Sampler, which is similar to this, but we didn't do it quilt as you go like this process. I'd quilt the whole thing after. And just straight line quilting. I didn't know how to do any free motion quilting at that point. But that one we use as our guests, when we have guests over, that's the quilt that we use for that. So man, we got a lot of quilt here. So I think I have 3 rows just about done. We could spend some time putting like the long pieces together. We haven't done that yet. So I don't know, even though we do have a lot of blocks left still, we do have a lot of the quilt done because we are doing the quilt as you go process. And now that I'm thinking about it, let's update. I didn't update my top here. So we are now down to 27 unfinished blocks. So we should have 27 left here to do. We're under 30, so we're getting there. But all right, you guys, I think that will be that for tonight. I'm very happy with getting that block done. Here it is again. But yeah, all those little Hexies turned out just so sweet, and I'm really happy we were able to finish it. So tomorrow I'll have to show what that emergency craft project is, that little crochet project. I'll get that out right now just so I can remember. Yeah, then we'll have to figure out what to do next. We'll have a day to play around tomorrow, and then Friday again. I am not going to be here. That's John's surgery day, so I think I'll be taking that off. Although it's really early in the morning, so maybe I'll pop on in the evening still. We'll see. So awesome, you guys. Thank you again for joining me tonight. I will be back here at 8:30 p.m. Central Time tomorrow. So have a lovely evening, everyone. Good night.